Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. Dziękuję. Okay. Okay, perfect. Um, Peter, will you show the results from yesterday or? Okay, perfect. So just the lists from today. Okay. So we just talk about what's on the screen. Okay, perfect. Yeah, he doesn't have his headphones on. Yes, now he is. Okay. 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 Okay, perfect option. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. All right. Hello and good morning, Dzień dobry, live from Mszczonów, Deepspot, southwest of Warsaw. We are coming back for the finals of the Deepspot Challenge 2026 in its 6th edition. Today we will see our top athletes who qualified for the finals push their limits yet again and well, hopefully make it to the podium for this competition. We are looking forward to see some great dives today. There will be lots of exciting dives to watch. But before that, we would like to thank our sponsors who are making this competition possible. Aerotunnel being the owner of Deepspot and the FlySpot brands and the founder of Deepspot. Garmin, the manufacturer of dive computers in the form of sport watches. Seacraft Go, making underwater scooters. And Hectometer, manufacturer of self-equalizing goggles for freedivers. Bandy, Polish manufacturer of high-quality cosmetics. Deep Humans, manufacturer of high-quality freediving wetsuits and equipment. And of course, Chetma, the highest quality bifins and monofin, which our top athletes will also have a chance to win. So yesterday was an intense day, lots of new surprises. Many people, or only the top 6 athletes made it to the finals. And today we will see them again on a new stage, trying to push again to win or make it to the podium. As mentioned, there will be exciting prizes for both the professional and the non-professional categories. We will get to that just in a moment, but also to explain to our viewers who are just tuning in, who did not see the live yesterday, the competition as it is split into 2 categories, non-professional and professional. The non-professional will have to dive to a depth of 20 meters and then make it up to the 2-meter static zone within 2 minutes, where they have to hold their breath for as long as possible. And again, the rule is the one with the longest dive time and the one respecting all the rules, giving a clear OK sign, gets a white card and of course wins. For the professional category, it is exactly the same rules. However, this time they would have to dive to a depth of 44 meters and have up to 3 minutes to make it back to the static zone of 2 meters. Only about 1 minute sets us apart from the first start of the day. We will start with the non-profi category. First, the ladies, the top 6 ladies from yesterday who were able to make it to the finals. On the screen is Monika Kordek and Anna Gawina and Monika Kordek, both from Poland. And a good start for both athletes. Anna Gavina scored 54 points yesterday with her dive. She was able to do a 2 minute and 50-second dive, and that qualified her in the 6th position to the finals. And she's back again, this time to hopefully make it in the top 3. Again, to explain the rules as you see them, the divers can choose whatever discipline, whether it be in a free immersion with bifins or without, and slowly make their way up. The speed here does not matter. What matters most is that they make it to the 2-meter static zone within the 2-minute allocated time. If failing to do so will result in a red card and a disqualification. However, we are hoping, I mean, both our divers, as we can see, are well within that time. They can also reach the static zone as early as they want, just not later than the 2 minutes. And it's Anna Gavina we have on the screen now on the orange line. On the black line was Monika Kordek. Yesterday she scored 55.6 points with a dive time of 2 minutes and 58 seconds. The countdown for the 2 minutes have been set. Anna Gavina just broke the surface and is awaiting the judge's decision on her dive. And she gets a white card, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Congratulations, Anna, on your dive. Monika Kordek is still underwater, nearing the 3-minute mark. She wants to push for it this time in the finals. She's well ahead of the time, or the dive time she was able to achieve yesterday, fighting through those contractions, determined to make it up higher in the ranking for the finals of the Deepspot Challenge 2026. Now it remains to see if she gets a white card for this dive. Beautiful, clear okay sign, showing the tag to the judges. 3 minutes and 9 seconds total dive time. And it's a white card, at least celebrations from the safety team. White card for Monika Kordek. Congratulations, well done. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. We'll see how that ranks later in the day when all of the top 6 athletes from yesterday complete their dives. Now just compared, and you see how both athletes who just started compared. Monika Kordek with 57.6 points, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Anna Gavina scored 46 points with 2 minutes and 11 seconds. This is already an improvement for Monika from her dive yesterday. She scored 55.6 points. So that is an improvement, as mentioned, and we'll see how that compares to the next athletes who are yet to compete. Magdalena Całęska, Katarina Lisowska are next in about 5 minutes time. We can see the athletes coming to the main line. Katarina Lisowska on the screen in this challenge. Right behind the separation noodles, this is where the athletes are able to do their warm-ups in the far right corner of your screen. And where the main lines are is where the athletes come for their performances. This is where the action happens. This is where it's just them and their thoughts and what they can achieve. The Deepspot Challenge is a competition that attracts divers from different countries, not just from Poland, but we all know Deepspot is the go-to place for so many people for its amazing and pristine conditions. 33 degrees water temperature all throughout, 45 meters of depth and also visibility. Deepspot is located about 40-minute drive southwest of the Polish capital, Warsaw. It is here built above a thermal or a hot water spring, so that gives the ability to have the good water conditions. The water in Deepspot is actually cooled down and not heated up. This is also the reason why none of the athletes are wearing wetsuits. 3 minutes until the top time is announced. Now, for those of you watching, or for the fanatics who follow on so many competitions or freediving competitions, the competition at the Deepspot Challenge is quite special as it is. It's different in the setup from the other competitions. Since the depth is the same, obviously what defines who wins and who won't is the total dive time, but there comes a twist to that. Obviously the athletes can choose any discipline they want to perform their dives. The most important is that they make it up to the 2-meter static zone within the allocated time for the non-profi of 2 minutes and for the professionals for 3 minutes. And it's there where all the action happens, where they have to push through all those contractions and give it their best. And it's here where it's always strategic. Obviously, you only win when you get a white card and the overall points are the highest. So athletes have to make smart decisions, comparing and seeing what other athletes might potentially be able to achieve, and make sure that they push as much as they can, but still in a way that they still get a white card and not disqualify themselves. So they have to make attention, they follow all the rules and be aware of not making any mistakes that could disqualify them. We've seen that yesterday for so many people who might have been here for the first time, still not very familiar with the rules. Sometimes you tend to forget, and then with one simple mistake, you get a red card and unfortunately 0 points. But these athletes who are watching today, they all respected all the rules yesterday and got white cards and were the top 6 from the 48 athletes that started, or 43, sorry, both women and men who started in the non-profi category. So to be at the top 6 is quite impressive. And we wish them all the best for their dives. And the top time has been announced for both athletes. A good start for both. Would have to remind our viewers again, one other rule in this competition is that the entire body has to be fully submerged underwater when the top time is announced, and not like the typical competitions where you'd still have 30 seconds additional time. So failure to do so will result in disqualification for both athletes. It was okay. And on our screen is Magdalena Zalewska, who yesterday in the qualifying heats scored a total point of 60.4. That was a dive time of 3 minutes and 22 seconds. We will be able to see whether today's dive will be an improvement from her performance from yesterday or not. On the other line and almost at the 2-meter mark is Katarina Lisowska. Yesterday she was able to score 59.4 points with a total dive time of 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Now she made it to the static zone. This is where she has to hold her breath for as long as possible. The countdown you might be able to hear is to notify the athletes of the allowed time to make it to the static zone, but both athletes were able to reach that area with no delays. Today is the day where both athletes will want to push as much as they can for hopefully a place on the podium. Yesterday was the top 6 athletes. Today is only the top 3 that will get on the podium. Katarina Lisowska already broke the surface, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A slight disappointment perhaps, as the dive time or the performance was less than what she was able to achieve yesterday. But the most important thing is to get a white card for this dive, and we are waiting the judge's decision on that. And it is indeed white card for Lisowska Katarina from Poland. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Magdalena, however, is still underwater, already past the 3-minute mark and approaching the 3:30. Now she's changing positions, perhaps thinking whether it's time to come up or not yet. Our safety divers carefully inspecting the situation to analyze and see whether they would have to intervene and assist the athlete. The athletes would have to make it up to the surface by themselves and not get any assistance from the athlete. And Magdalena is having trouble keeping her airways outside of the water and gets assistance from the athletes. Just a few seconds too much, perhaps, and she could have made it by herself. But it's quite brave to see her pushing for outside of her comfort zone. She gets an unfortunate red card for this. That could have been way a good improvement from her performance or from yesterday. But still well done on your performance, Magdalena. She is currently getting the required assistance from the paramedics present on site just to ensure that she's doing well and fine. But as you could see on your screen already, she regained consciousness almost immediately. Those are things that you have to know in freediving. I mean, obviously it's a safe sport, that's what we try to vouch for. You'd have to understand that this is a much, much different than from the recreational freediving. This is a competition. It's the Deepspot challenge. These are the finals here. People try to push beyond their limits to make it to the podium, but there's always a fine line between a winner and a red card. So sometimes just a few seconds difference could make that decision. It's a learning experience for the athletes. So many of them always account for such bumps on the road, so to speak. It is not a failure. It is perhaps a learning experience for them to know what to do differently next time, to analyze, was it a second too long? Was it perhaps the stress that could have been handled better? Of course, being at the finals, there's always this added pressure of wanting to be at the top 3 and also making it from the qualifying from 43 athletes being the top 6. That's already quite the impressive achievement. And being here also with top athletes and world champions and trying to compete against that adds perhaps a little added stress. But we will try to have our athletes on the commentators booth to have an interview for them to be able to tell us about their experience. But so far we will watch the next group of athletes. Only 3 minutes until the top time is announced for both athletes. On the screen is Wersja from Sweden. Yesterday she made it to the finals from the qualifying. Also who made it to the finals is Paulina Lara Lewandowska from Poland. These were the top contestants from yesterday, and that's how also the finals or the list is on. It's always with we start with the person who scored the lowest points in the qualifying up to the person who scored the most. So it's between these two athletes to define the ranking for today's non-professional finals. For those of you on the screen watching, to understand why athletes would want to push for a place at the podium, for the non-pro category awards, in third place we'll have material prizes from our sponsors, Garmin, and in second place there will be a package of 10 tickets to Deepspot so they can train their skills further. The first place or the prize winner will get a package of 15 tickets, entrance tickets to Deepspot. These are all provided by our main sponsor, Aero Tunnel, the owner of Deepspot and the FlySpot brands, and also the provider for cash prizes for the professional or Profi category later in the day. Paulina Lara Lewandowska, who yesterday took the lead and scored the highest point for the non-Profi category in the ladies, 62.6 points, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Wersja was taking the lead almost all throughout the qualifying until Paulina did her dive. She scored 60 points, 0.8, with a dive time of 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Only about 9 seconds difference between the two divers. We'll be able to see how they perform and how they hold up today, whether that would be an improvement from yesterday or not. Wersja is new to the competitive world. She has just started recently. We had the privilege of interviewing her yesterday during the qualifying, where she was thrilled with her performance, rather surprisingly, as it came unexpectedly to her. Her love for the water is what brought her here. Same for Paulina Lara Lewandowska, who has been connected with the water since childhood. She has been a diver for over 15 years now, but got in the fascinating and amazing world of freediving just a little over a year ago. And she stated that she wants it to stay that way. Officially a freediver, and also hopefully the winner of the non-profi category for this year. It is between the two divers. Who will be the winner of this year's 6th edition of the Deepspot Challenge. Wersja from Sweden is pushing through those contractions and already at the 2-meter static zone. The 2-minute countdown has been announced. Both athletes made it on time. Now, taking turns are our safety team to ensure that the athletes are safe. When they notice any signs of hypoxia, they would have to ask for OK sign from the athletes. We do hope that all or both athletes will be able to have amazing performances and secure a white card and a place at the podium. So far, as it stands, 3 minutes in is already a clear win for both. But trying to push through who will get first and who will be second and third. These are the last defining moments of the dives. Laura already broke the Löwe already broke the surface. She's trying to fight and keep her airways outside of the water. That just shows the determination of the Swedish athlete. 3 minutes and 17 seconds underwater. No assistance from the judges so far from where we could see. We'll have to await the judges' decision, however, to see. And celebration for both athletes. White card for Wersja from Sweden and also for Paulina Lara Lewandowska from Poland. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That will be a clear win for the athlete. Now, the ranking for the ladies on the non-profi category is so far determined. We'll be able to have it on our screen in just a moment for the final official results. But from where we could see now, the Polish athlete is definitely taking the lead. It's quite a joyful moment for both. And yes, indeed, in third place, Monika Kordek was one of the first to go. 57.6 points, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. In second place from Sweden, Wersja, 3 minutes and 17 seconds and 59.4 points. And way ahead of both athletes is Paulina Lara Lewandowska, 3 minutes and 29 seconds, 61.8 points. slightly under what she was able to perform yesterday, but that was a strategic move. She knew she was at the top of the ranking. There was no point to push any further. It's much, much safer to go for that white card and the first than to break the record from yesterday. But well done, congratulations. It's an amazing performance. It was great to watch all the ladies compete against each other. And next up will be the men in the non-profi category. Adam Ostalski from Poland, Lukasz Formanek from Czech Republic will be coming up next in just about 20 minutes or so. After that is Hyohos Chitakis and Tomasz Kraszczyk, and Karlo Jurecki and Sebastian Temek from Poland, who will be competing in the non-profi male category. Okay, and then we will take a short camera break and we'll be back to you in just about 10 minutes or so. See you soon. Hello, we are back live from Deepspot, ready for the men in the non-profi category. Yesterday we had a mixture of both men and women in the non-profi category and also the profi category, but also because we had much more starts than we have today. Again, to remind of the winners for the non-profi in the ladies, in third place and winning bronze is Monika Kordek from Poland. Löwe Rögestedt from Sweden scored the silver medal, and Paulina Lara Lewandowska is the winner with the gold medal. We will have the interviews with all athletes on the booth. On the Polish live, we have Paulina Lara Lewandowska, and on our English live with us today is bronze medalist Monika Kordek, 57 points, 0.6. Welcome, Monika, on the booth. How are you feeling after your dive?
To be honest, very surprised, because I know the rest of the competitors were like top of the top. So I was aiming to break the 3 minutes. So this is my real personal record. So I was, when they told me like 1 minute ago that I'm third, so I burst in tears. I was like, no way, that girl was so awesome, so tough, that's impossible. So I'm still like trying to think that, is that really happened? So.
And it did. It was reality. You are the bronze medalist in the Deepspot challenge.
Yeah.
So you made it. You broke the dive. You broke the record for your own self. Perhaps it was unexpected for you, but you're feeling thrilled now and happy. Will you be back next year again?
Yes, I think so, because like almost all the season I was participating in diving league here. So. This competition are like part of it. So I guess next year, if like my health and time will allow me, I will try to join. But to be honest, when I get out of the water, I was thinking like, never again. This is so much pain. This is so much suffer. To be honest, when I had the contraction every second, I was like looking only into my safety eyes and was thinking, okay, she's calm. I need to be calm, but it's so painful. But I think I achieved this this time also thanks to Paulina and Anya and other people from our diving league who were like supporting us. So we are like one team, one diving family, and everyone are supporting each other. So it's really great, and I really recommend to join the diving league, because you can meet very nice people who will support you. So it's great experience.
That's beautiful to hear from you, and we're happy that you made such a great and beautiful experience. Now you can be proud of yourself and celebrate. How will you celebrate them?
I think I'm gonna sleep earlier, because it was a little bit stressful, because I was thinking I want to perform my best, but but it was still like some stress that I was not competing for sure for the medals, but it was something strong.
It still happened, and well done. Congratulations, gratulacje. And then we'll see you on the podium later, and also we'll celebrate together your win and achievements.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much. It was Monika, the bronze medalist for the Deepspot Challenge 2026. Well done, Monika. We're proud of your achievement. the version of today's competition, the finals, is much more compact than yesterday. But when we also say compact, it's also compact with a lot of emotions. The thrill is high, the adrenaline is also high, perhaps not for the divers in the water because they have to keep it low, but for all of us watching from Deepspot around the pool, also for the judges, for the safeties. We all, as we heard Monika Kordek in the interview, she said it's all about the community, it's all about the support from everyone around, and she was able to get to where she was because of that support, and that's also for all of the other athletes present on site. It's not just a stranger doing a dive, it's also like someone you feel somehow emotionally attached to and you want them to win. Obviously, we want everyone to win, but then that's always a difference of just a few seconds, just a few points. And it's always like the adrenaline and to handle all the emotions. And we want for all athletes to get white cards and do their best. And hopefully we'll also have the men in the competition here for the non-profi also with us on the booth later, so they can tell us about their experience and the feelings and what went through their head, to be able to get a even closer look at their performances. For now, you're just watching it from the outside, but it's also what happened inside that determines or brings us closer to these divers. 1 minute sets us apart from the next top time, and in the men category, starting with the top 6 athletes from yesterday's qualifying. As mentioned, we had 43 athletes, both men and women, and only the top 6 with the top best performances made it to the finals today. However, today only the top 3 will make it on the podium. It's already a challenge in itself to do 2 dives, and we'll be able to see whether these athletes will be able to beat the records of their counterparts or not. So far on our screen, Lukáš Formanek, who scored in yesterday's qualifying 64.2 points with a dive time of 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Adam Ostalski on the screen now preparing for his dive. Also scored 67.8 points yesterday with just 1 second short of 4 minutes dive time. We'll be able to see whether he wants to push, or both athletes want to push for breaking their own records in this finals or not. The most important part is just to score and be at the top of the podium, just to have the most amount of points. We'll be able to see what the results will be like. Adam Ostalski on the screen is taking it pull by pull to reach the 20-meter mark. The rules are still the same as for the ladies in the non-profi category, reaching 20 meters, coming up to the 2-meter zone for the static, no later than 2 minutes. Both athletes are making their way up, pull by pull, staying in the zone, staying calm and relax. What goes through their head is probably not aligned with how calm they are right now. It's probably trying to sort out all the thoughts, trying to calm oneself, making sure that the dive will be successful. Lukáš Formanek on the screen has a personal best in constant weight of 56 meters and in static of 6 minutes and 24 seconds. So the combination of both for this dive should be helpful for him to score higher up in the ranking. But still, doing a static performance after a 20-meter dive is not easy. But we will be able to see how both athletes perform. Both are now in the 2-meter static zone, pushing their limits, pushing through the contractions, making sure the thoughts stay calm and relax. Lukáš Formanek is one of the many Czech athletes present in the competition. all thanks to their coach and instructor Pavel Tom. However, right before Lukáš started freediving in 2024, he was a underwater rugby player for over 20 years. So all of that underwater experience comes at handy in such challenging moments as we see now for the dive. Adam Ostalski just pushed through the 3-minute mark, going for more seconds on the clock. As mentioned earlier, Adam was just 1 second short of 4 minutes yesterday in the qualifying heat. Lukáš Formanek achieved 3 minutes and 41 seconds. What will their results be in today's finals? We will find out. Lukáš already approaching his record from yesterday and beating it in. Adam Ostalski still looking calm, but perhaps fighting the thoughts to remain calm. Now our safeties around are making sure that both athletes are okay. They will have to constantly communicate that. Adam Ostalski just breaks the surface right after 4 minutes and is fighting to stay on the line and keep his airways outside of the water. A little twitches from being hypoxic. But waiting the judges' decisions, and it's a white card for Adam Ostalski. Congratulations, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Back on the line, B is Lukáš Formanek, also awaiting the judges' decisions with a whopping 4 minutes and 26 seconds. The judges are making their decision and discussing what card to issue the Czech athlete. Up until now, it is still not certain. Those must be more challenging seconds for the athlete. And as we see, it's a yellow card. There are still discussions on what could be the reason for that. Now, yellow card in competition generally means two things. Either the athlete was not able to achieve the depth, which was not the case in this dive, or that the judges still have to discuss what card to issue, whether it will be a white card, and obviously the points counting towards the ranking, or a red card and a disqualification. That is something we'll be able to come back to later. So far, for the judges, they made the decision not to decide, and we'll be able to see what that will be later. Perhaps they'll have to review the footage again. They'll have to discuss. There's a judge outside of the water on the side of the pool, and also a judge in the pool watching what happens underwater. And you see now the discussion, discussing the rules, discussing whether a mistake has been made or not. We'll be able to get back to that at the end of the heat, or when all athletes are done with their dives. And we're just getting sign now that we're still waiting for the announcement of the judges. Perhaps they will be able to reach a decision. As I mentioned before, perhaps these are stressful moments for the athlete. And the judges will review the footage to be able to see what was the reason, or if they will want to issue a white card. From what we could see, or the perspective we had, I'm at least not able to tell, but we'll be able to update you on that in a moment. But coming up next is Kyrios Chiotokis from Greece and Tomasz Graszczyk from Poland. Kyrios did a successful dive that got him a white card yesterday. He scored 68.2 points with a dive of 4 minutes and 1 second. Next in line is the Polish athlete Tomasz Graszczyk, who yesterday also got a white card. An impressive 4 minutes and 32 second dive time, resulting in 74.4 points and ranking him third yesterday. We'll see how that would be today for both athletes. So far, the two men previously on the line who did their performances, Adam Ostalski, who scored 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Łukasz Formanek's 4 minutes and 20 second dive is still not sure whether that will be granted a white card or not. We will keep you updated. And as I said, that brings me back to what I said earlier. The stakes are high on the finals. It's everything will be looked at meticulously. No chance for not even the slightest mistake. It's only the diver who did the best dive following all the rules and the longest time wins. Obviously, the top three. So the challenge between the divers is quite high. And 30 seconds sets us to the top time for the next athletes. They only have 20 seconds left until they can submerge their entire bodies underwater. Now, when the top time is announced, both athletes would have to be underwater already. Tomasz just submerged himself underwater. Same for the Greek athlete. As mentioned, Tomasz ranked third yesterday with a performance or the total point of 74.4 points. He's one of the people who've been frequenting Deepspot quite often, where he was able to harness his skills and improve his performance under the guidance of instructor Emilia Biała, who is the head safety for the Deepspot challenge. Kyrios, who's been a workaholic, as he states for years, working across many countries, is now finding his calm and balance underwater through free diving, through his extensive experience in the sport. He learned how to respect himself and invest more in his well-being, and it's that perspective that allowed him to also be present in the competition, not just in the qualifying, but also in the finals, and hopefully securing a place on the podium. He was part of the Greek team in the CIMAS Indoor Freediving World Championship last year in his home country of Athens, of Greece, in the city of Athens. He practices or trains a couple of times a week with Dimitris Koumoulos from being part of the One Breath team. And 2 minutes countdown has been announced. Both athletes made it well within time to the 2-meter static zone. Now the defining moment of who holds his breath the longest. Tomasz did a performance of 4 minutes and 32 seconds yesterday in the qualifying. while Georgios did 4 minutes and 1 second. We'll be able to see how both athletes perform today on the finals, where probably the stress level is much higher, knowing you've made it to the final, knowing you want to have a slight chance at making it on the podium. So there is the desire to push farther and push beyond what is capable or what is possible, but still smart enough to come up at the right moment and secure a white card. As you can see down on the screen right behind are our viewers watching from outside in the reception area, all excited to see who their or what their favorite athletes will be able to perform. Just a few seconds to the 4-minute mark. Our safeties trying to pay close attention to how the athlete is handling those contractions. It's always, since the Deepspot challenge is quite a special competition, different from any other of its kind. It's one of a kind, so here it's quite unusual for an athlete to still do a static breath hold after a deep dive. But that's what makes the dive challenging, and this is where the Deepspot challenge gets its name. Now Georgios already breaking his record from yesterday, already at the 4 minutes 30-second mark, pushing even farther. Will they be able to reach the 5-minute mark? This is what we'll be able to find out. Now these are the last few seconds and the defining moments of the dive. Again, they would need not only to have the longest breath hold, but also get a white card. Georgios just broke the surface, trying to keep his airways outside of the water to be able to secure a white card. Now he's fighting hard. He fought hard through the contractions, and he's fighting hard for that surface protocol, keeping the head high up above the water. And now awaiting the judges' decisions. Will that be a white card or not? And it's a white card. Congratulations, Georgios, on your performance. Well done. But right on the other line, who just broke the surface, Tomasz Krasicki, with just a whopping almost 6 minutes, but had to get assistance from the safeties. Now he had to push way beyond his limits. Tomasz, who did a wonderful performance yesterday, did it a little over what he's able to achieve, but still 5 minutes and 39 seconds after a 20-meter dive. That is quite impressive. It is really challenging. The athlete was up to the challenge right until the last seconds, but unfortunately that will result in a disqualification. He will receive the required assistance from the paramedics present on site. Now we have to remind our viewers that this is quite different from what freediving is about. This is a competition special in itself, where freedivers, with the assistant and in the presence of the safety team, can push through their limits to show what is humanly possible. We're not going to see your typical recreational freediving. This is a chance for all athletes to push beyond their limits. Now, sometimes with a little bump on the road, you see that the athletes do push beyond what is possible and get assistance from the safeties. But as you can see, Tomasz is already able to breathe by himself and get an assistance from the paramedics, and the ranking as it stands. Jorge's taking the lead with 79.6 points. The next athletes would have to beat that to win gold. Adam Ostalski with 69.6 points is second in the ranking. Lukasz Formanek could still change that ranking, but we will have to see what the judges will decide on his dive, as that is pending review. Next in line is Karlo Jurecki and Sebastian Demek from Poland. One minute until top time for both athletes. They are trying to get in the zone, trying to prepare for the most important dive of the day. These are the last two athletes in the non-qualifying, non-profi finals. Their dives will be able to determine who makes it to the podium, who wins gold, silver, and bronze. The stakes are obviously high, as both athletes were the ones to score the highest in yesterday's qualifying heats. Karlo Jurecki on the screen scored 74.8 points with a dive of 4 minutes and 34 seconds. That is just 2 points below the current leader with 76.6 points. However, yesterday is different. The strategic move was to just qualify for the finals and then push and give it all for the finals. We'll be able to see how Karlo Jurecki and Sebastian Demek performed. Karlo Jurecki was also quite active in the competition, where he, although he just started recently last year, but this year is already filled with many comps for him. Deepspot Challenge being the second one of the year. Last week he was able to do a static performance of 6 minutes in the competition. We'll be able to see how he performs in today's finals. Sebastian Demek, yesterday's leader in the competition with 75 points. Still 1 point just below what the final, or the leader in the finals, scored. However, yet again, we'd have to see a change of the results now. It's 30 seconds until reaching the 2 meter mark, but Sebastian is doing it quite well and is already at the 2 meter mark within the allocated time. Now pushing the athletes earlier were able to have dive times of well above 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what both athletes will have to achieve greater than that. So far, the dive is manageable for both athletes. It's well within what they were able to achieve yesterday, well within what they can achieve in general. But we've just seen it earlier. Sometimes athletes just have it a little out of control and push a few seconds more than what they can do. But we do hope that that would not be the case for these athletes. The stacks are high. Both dives now will define how the ranking will be. Karlo Jurecki ranked second in the qualifying yesterday. Perhaps he's going or aiming for gold for today. Now our safeties again checking on the divers, taking turns to ensure that everything is running smoothly and according to plan. Both athletes still submerged underwater and pushing to achieve the best results they can. Sebastian Dimick, who mentioned that there is nothing else in the world that puts him in a better place than being here at Deepspot. He loves freediving and Deepspot as well, and he's doing both right now, being present here at the Deepspot Challenge, trying to be smart on the performance he's currently delivering. Both athletes are still pushing through, determined to be the one to win. Sebastian Dimick just breaks the surface, just a few seconds below 5 minutes, giving clear okay sign, awaiting the judges' decisions. And it's a celebration and a white card for Sebastian Dimick. Hopefully, next in the line, we'll be able to continue the celebration with Karlo Jurecki. That will determine who wins gold for the non-profi category. The judges are still making their decision. Up until now, the decision is not final. Karlo Jurecki achieved the dive time of almost 5 minutes, well beyond what he was able to achieve yesterday. Now, what will the judges give as a card? And it's a white card and a clear winner for the Deepspot Challenge 2026 in the non-profi category. Karlo Jurecki, impressive dive. That was amazing to watch. He fought for that surface protocol. He fought for the dive. He pushed his limits way beyond what he's able to achieve, but still managed to get a white card for that. Well done to our men in the non-profi category. You've done impressive, you've delivered impressive performances. Gratulacje. And the ranking as it currently stands with Sebastian Dimick winning bronze and 77.8 points. Karlo Jurecki in second place with 79 points. And Georgios Chotakis, sorry, what a surprise, with just a few second difference. Karlo Jurecki falls in second place, right behind Georgios Chotakis with 4 minutes, 58 seconds. That is the final and determining factor. Congratulations to Greece, congratulations to Georgios for winning gold. We will see if we'll be able to have him later on the booth with us for an interview to tell us about his experience. But congratulations to all who performed today. That was beautiful and impressive to watch how the top athletes are competing and pushing way beyond their limits to score what they were able to achieve. Congratulations to, again, Sebastian Demek winning bronze with 77.8 points. Carlo Jurecki with silver medal, 79 points, and a clear win for Georgios Chotakis with 79.6 points. Impressive performances. Well done. However, there are still review ongoing for the yellow card for Lukasz Formanek. However, even if that turns into a white card, it is clear already who will be on the podium, when now the only thing to decide is who's fourth and who's fifth. That will be between Adam Ostalski and Lukasz Formanek when the review is over and either a white or a red card is announced. It was impressive to watch. The day is still not over. We have in just about 30 or 20 minutes the next category and the professional athletes diving deeper, this time to 44 meters. And trying to set the ranking for who is going to win the gold and get it on the podium. But for now, we'll take a short break and be back to you in just about 20 minutes. My name is Anas Shair. I'm doing the commentary for the English live broadcast. My colleague Franek Przeracki doing the Polish version. Stay tuned. We'll be back to you live from Deepspot in just about 20 minutes time. Welcome back to the second part of the dive live from the Deepspot challenge. Back with the Profi category. And we just had the non-Profi, both male and men and women who competed. The ranking is already set for the podium. We will be able to have a talk with one of the podium winners later in the competition. But so far we go and starting first with the ladies to the Profi category. First in line, Agnieszka Maj and Julia Marievich. Then up next is Natalia Wilk and Mojca Haberman. And as the last two contestants for the ladies, Katarina Sadurska and Agata Cwanczke. Then in the men, coming up with a lucky change in the start list, as one person who qualified for the finals dropped out of the competition. Waldemar Bruderer, Maciej Lizia, Stefan Randig, Piotr Kubiak and Mateusz Malina and David Spreitz-Ehlings in the men category. We will be watching them all together, commenting on their dives, watching how they push through those contractions to get a chance to stand on the podium. We have some of the strongest athletes ever. And yesterday they showed how great their performances can be. Perhaps it's just enough for them to qualify for the finals. And then today they will give it their best, give it more than what possibly was achieved yesterday. This is the moment that defines who goes home with gold and the prizes that we have to present to our winners. Again, to remind all viewers who just tuned in, you are watching the Deepspot Challenge 2026 in its 6th edition, live from Deepspot in Mszczonów, southwest of Warsaw, the Polish capital. For this category in the professional, both for men and women, third place will get cash prize for €300. Second place, €700, and first place, €1,500, all provided by our main sponsor, Aerotunnel, who is the founder and manager of both the Deepspot and Flyspot brands and the owner of both. So you can understand also why most athletes will be giving it more than just their best, because there are exciting things to win. Also safe to mention is our other sponsor, Garmin, who will be presenting our winners with material prizes. The impressive MK3 dive computers and G2 dive computer. If you're just tuning in to watch your favorite divers, welcome. We are just 1 minute away from the top time. To remind our viewers who did not watch yesterday's qualifying heats, the competition at the Deepspot Challenge is quite special. It's different. It's one of a kind in the sense that the rules here are different. The athletes all dive to the same depth of 44 meters in the Profi category. So what defines who gets a place at the podium is clearly the one who with the longest breath hold. So the divers will have to come up at a 2-meter static zone, which is marked on the rope. And within the allocated time of 3 minutes, their dive until that depth, that cannot be more than 3 minutes. And there they can hold their breath for as long as they can, enough to be at the podium and enough to get a white card, but not too much to get a disqualification. There are sets of rules they have to follow, and we'll see as we watch our next 6 athletes how they will be able to perform in this competition. On our screen is Julia Marievich, also a frequent visitor to Deepspot, and also the reason many of the Latvian contestants present in the competition are here. She is a well-rounded instructor and athlete, the national record holder in Latvia in the discipline of constant weight bifin, and static. So that comes at handy for the Latvian athlete when her static personal best in a competition is of 5 minutes and 46 seconds. We'll see how much of that she'll be able to use after her dive. Agnieszka Mai, who also delivered a wonderful performance yesterday, is on the screen. She was able to score 81 points in yesterday's qualifying heats with a total dive time of 3 minutes and 6 seconds. That after a depth of 44 meters, it is quite impressive. The deepest point at Deepspot here where we are is 45 meters. And you can see Agnieszka Mai being met by the safety to ensure that all is well. It was quite a surprise for her, rather an unexpected qualification to the final for the Polish freediver. Her husband, who is also part of the safety team, is here to support her. 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the dive for the Latvian athletes. And then for Agnieszka Mai, she decides to break the surface already.
10 seconds.
Just a few seconds less than what she was able to achieve yesterday. But the stakes are high on the finals, and the decision was a smart move. Now awaiting the judge's decision, we see a little nod on the head. Not sure about the performance, but still celebratory. End to the comp with white cards for both Julia Marievich and Agnieszka Mai. White cards for both athletes. We'll be able to see the total points scored from both athletes in just a moment. And we will hopefully have one of the athletes join us later in the booth to tell us about their experiences. With 78.8 points, Julia Marievich is ahead of Agnieszka Mai with 76.2 points. This is just the start. We still have 4 athletes in the Profi category about to compete. Coming up next is Mojca Haberman and Natalia Wilk. We see here the Polish teammates congratulating Agnieszka on her dive. And that goes again to show the spirit and the joy that other people also experience for one of their teammates, as many of the athletes also mentioned it earlier in the interviews. Although it's an individual sport, it's the team spirit that also makes it a fun sport to enjoy. Now, just 5 minutes until the top time is announced for both Mojca Haberman on the orange line, line B, and Natalia Wilk on the black line, line A. All the best to our contestants. Natalia Wilk ranked third yesterday in yesterday's qualifying heats with a total point of 83.6. We'll see how that compares in today's performance. Mojca Haberman on line B scored 82.6 points yesterday. The total dive time for Mojca was 3 minutes and 13 seconds. That of Natalia was 3 minutes and 18 seconds. On the screen is one of the judges, Radek. All the judges are wearing the yellow t-shirts, as you can see on both sides of the screen. We always have a judge outside of the pool and one inside of the pool to be able to see if the athlete makes any wrong moves underwater. Then the judges communicate with one another, and based on their judgment, a card is issued, either a white card, meaning that the dive was successful and the points count towards the ranking, a yellow card, meaning two things. Either the judges could not reach a decision at that moment and will still have to review the footage until later, that situation we had earlier in the day with one of the athletes, or the yellow card could also mean that the athlete was not able to reach the certain depth and gets points subtracted from the overall points. However, the overall points still count towards the overall ranking. Getting a yellow card in a competition just means penalty points, but the general points still count towards the ranking. A red card, however, means immediate disqualification. That results after either a mistake, not reaching, in this case, not reaching the static zone within the allocated time, making a mistake that is not allowed, or not being able to keep the airways outside of the water and needing assistance from the safeties. That will then result in a red card. But we do hope for both our athletes, for them to score white cards and results they will be satisfied with. Both athletes have extensive experience in deep diving and competition experience as well. Both Mojca Haberman and Natalia Wilk were present multiple times in the World Championship. Mojca Haberman was present at last year's World Championship as well.
20 seconds.
She currently ranks quite high on the national ranking for Slovenia, with 2 national records in both free immersion and constant weight no fins. And the top time has been announced for both athletes. Mojca Haberman was present with us on the commentators booth yesterday and mentioned how slightly stressful this competition is, as it is out of the norm for her, being the deep diver She's not used to holding her breath at the end of a deep dive or after a deep dive. So that represents quite a challenge. But if she's here, if she made it to the final, then she only shows that she's up for that challenge and she's ready to push beyond her comfort zone and deliver a great performance for the Deepspot Challenge 2026. Mojca Habermann manages her athletic career, balancing well her athletic career, also on the side of her day job as a physiotherapist. She has been present at almost all competitions she was able to attend, making sure to improve her performance bit by bit, standing up for the challenge every time. Same for Natalia Wilk, who was also competing at the pool competition last week in Wrocław. Earlier in an interview, Natalia stated that she did rather not expect that she would qualify for the finals, but there she is with one of the top performances from yesterday's dives, ranking even third. And she does hope for the best. However, we'll have to see how that will be for today. Paying attention to the time to ensure that she makes it to the static zone within the allocated time of 3 minutes. If you've been watching since this morning, for the Profi category, that is different than from the non-Profi. The non-Profi have to reach the static zone within 2 minutes. As for the Profis, they'd have to do that within 3 minutes. Natalia Wilk is a well-rounded athlete, both in the pool and at depth. And not just that, but also quite a moment. I was afraid I should not make it in time, but she did. And she is also an underwater dancer and instructor for that as well, here in Deepspot, where she frequently teaches. An exciting project for her coming up is being part of the Polish team present at the Biennale in Venice this year. Mojca Habermann pushing through those contractions and breaking the surface. Natalia Wilk also breaks the surface. Now it is definitely much more than what they were able to achieve yesterday. We already hear celebrations for Natalia Wilk and a white card for her. Congratulations, gratulacje. Mojca Habermann is also cheering in the background and gets a white card for her dive. We'll be able to get the final results on the screen in just a moment, and we'll compare them together to yesterday's performances. So far, well done, ladies. You've done a great job. For Mojca Habermann, 86.6 points, a 4-point improvement from yesterday. Natalia Wilk also scores 86 points, a 3-point improvement from yesterday. Well done, ladies. Both Natalia and Mojca are so far taking the lead. However, we still have Katarina Sadurska and Agata Swanska to do and deliver their dives, and we'll be able then to see how their ranking will be. But before we get into that, we have with us on the booth Löwe Roderstöde from Sweden, who is the silver medalist and ranked second in the non-profi category earlier in the day. And we have her here with us. Yesterday we had her on the booth as well, where she stated how excited she was about her qualifying for the finals. Today we have you back here after you just had your food.
Yes. No,
How
actually, no.
are
I'm gonna eat still.
Not yet. Okay. So hopefully that you'll be able to do that very soon. But how are you feeling? Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm super happy. I told myself from yesterday, Love, just get a white card, okay?
Yeah.
Don't pressure yourself too much. You know, the other part of myself is like, come on,
Yeah.
you can do better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do better than yesterday. Like, no,
Yeah.
just get a
Yeah.
white card. That's the most
Yeah.
important. And I got a white card in a second.
That's beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I'm super happy.
That's great. And then you were able to balance both thoughts, both the
Yes,
negative
I
and the good.
could.
And then that also shows how good you were able to handle all of those thoughts underwater
Thank you.
and still managed to get a white card. You fought for that. You had an impressive performance.
Thank you.
It was also your first appearance at the Deepspot challenge, if I remember correctly from what you
Yes.
stated last time. Will you come back
Oh.
is the important question.
Of course. Now it's not a stop anymore. Now I have
Yeah.
to come back.
And the stacks will be high because then you would want to improve from your
Exactly.
previous
This
records.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't come back and never come back, but I kind of have to. I really love
No.
this place, and it was a really cool competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to come back.
It's also your first time in Poland and the
Yes,
first time in Deepspot,
is.
and you enjoyed that. And now you also have another reason to come back because scoring a silver medal in this competition also gets you 10 entrance package to Deepspot.
You're right.
So you'll be able to use that to prepare for next
That's
year's competition
true.
and be back in its 7th edition for hopefully
Wow.
either the non-profi or the profi category. What do you think? Do you want to make the step and jump and do the 44 meters or just improve in the non-profi
I
category?
would love to jump to the 44 meter.
Yeah.
I would, yes.
Well,
But
you'll have
yeah.
10 sessions to
That's
improve
true.
with that. And also the Deepspot team is also opening their arms wide up open for you to be able to come
Thank
back and
you.
improve your skills and also discover a little bit more of Poland.
Yes.
We're right close to the Polish capital, Warsaw.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beautiful things to see
It
in
is
there.
for sure.
But do you hope, yesterday you've mentioned that you want to bring freediving or spread the word about it more in the island where you come from in Sweden?
Yes.
And that is, remind me again?
Gotland.
Gotland. So did you have any positive experiences? Did people write you and were cheerful for you, happy that you qualified for the finals? Or
Yeah, I
how
got a
is it?
few actually. So I think
nice.
this competition make them a bit more excited about freediving in general, you know, and they
Yeah.
can see this live. So I think even that, you know, wow, this is actually
Yeah.
a big thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really hope so. When I'm coming back, I hope they were like, you know what, let's make this happen on this island.
Yes. And then you can also bring more people from the island to join
Yeah,
Deepspot
wow,
and
that
the
will be a
Deepspot
dream.
challenge.
That will be
Yeah.
amazing.
But thank you so much for joining
Thank
us. We were
you.
happy to see you make all the progress and score silver medal. We're happy for
Thank
your
you so
achievement.
much.
Now you can go for a well-deserved break and all
Oh,
the food
sounds
that you
amazing.
deserve,
Alhamdulillah.
and we'll celebrate together during the closing ceremony for
Sounds
today.
good.
Congratulations to you again. Tak tak that you were with us.
Tack.
Thank you. That was Löwe Roderstöde from Sweden, the silver medalist in the non-profi category, telling us about her first time being in Deepspot and the Deepspot challenge. We will hope to see you back again next year with even more impressive performances. And back to you from live from the screens. 30 seconds until top time for both Agata Słęcka and Katarina Sadurska, who both scored the highest in yesterday's qualifying heats. Katarina Sadurska is the current world record holder and is a multiple world record holder in the no-fin discipline. Is also a multiple national record holder for her home country of Ukraine. She was also present here with us on the booth, sharing her experience of her dive from yesterday. Hopefully we'll be able to have her again to tell us about her overall experience, but so far we'll focus on her dive. She was the leader yesterday in the qualifying, scoring an amazing 93 points with a dive time of 4 minutes and 5 seconds. That is quite the achievement, and you see how impressive she is as a diver, as an athlete. She has a background in synchronized swimming. She was even present with Ukraine's synchronized swimming team at the Rio Olympics. And when she left the pool as a synchronized swimmer, she came back underwater as a free diver, not just as a hobby, but also breaking world records, national records, and being present at multiple events. Another one who's breaking records, perhaps her personal own records, is Agata Swanska on the screen. An impressive story behind her start into the freediving world. And back to the Deepspot challenge to show proof of what she can do. I remember quite well, we've had many interactions with the Polish athlete. Well, when Deepspot opened its doors in 2019 or 2020, and she was back then not even a freediver and was not even considering becoming one. But there she is, not just a freediver, but one of the top athletes in Poland and present at the Deepspot challenge, competing for the podium. She was last year's winner in the Profi category, along with Mateusz Malina. We will be able to see whether she can defend her title as a gold medalist for the Deepspot challenge. But the challenge is up against Katarina Sadurska, the world champion and world record holder. The stakes are high. So far, taking the lead is with 86.6 points, Mojca Habermann. Both athletes now will have to score higher than that to be able to have a chance to get on the podium. Already an improvement from yesterday's dive for Agata. Perhaps for her yesterday it was rather a strategic decision, and she breaks the surface. We are awaiting the judge's decision on her performance. Katarina Sadurska also breaks the surface as just past the 4-minute mark. Also an improvement from her performance yesterday. And in the background we hear cheers for Agata and a white card on her performance. We are awaiting the judge's decision on Katarina's dive, and it is a yellow card, however, I think, as she might have lost the tag. But still, as mentioned previously, it will just be a penalty point, but the overall points will still count towards the ranking. Now, curious to see how that evolves, how the total points change the ranking or change the ranking. We're seeing, realizing what the results of the dive were. Katarina, always as cheerful as a person as she is. Now we'll be able to see the results in just a moment on our screen as we're awaiting the final decisions from the judges. And a clear win for the Ukrainian athlete Katarina Sadurska, taking the lead with 92.2 points. With just 2 penalty points, she could have gotten 94 points. But in third place, and bronze medalist Mojca Haberman from Slovenia with 86.6 points. In second place and silver medalist is Agata Sałonska from Poland, 89.6 points. Ukraine's world champion and a leader of the Deepspot Challenge 2026, Katarina Sadurska, is the gold medalist with 92.2 points. She was set to lose those 2 penalty points, I think, because she did not have a tag. That also says it in the remarks. NT is no tag, and you still get penalty points, but still she was way ahead, and that did not affect her score in making it as the clear winner for this challenge. Congratulations to all of the ladies, but soon we're moving on to the men in the Profi category. And 6 top athletes from yesterday's qualifying heats: Waldemar Brudera, Marcia Lise, Stefan Randik, Piotr Kubiak, David Spreitz-Ehlings, and Mateusz Malina. We will be back to you in just about 20 minutes to watch these men perform and give their best in the Deepspot Challenge 2026. My name is Anna Schaer, and I will be back with you live in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to the last part of the finals for the Deepspot Challenge 2026. We just seen how the ranking was set for the ladies in the Profi category, Katarina Sadurska being the gold medalist, but now we're up to see how the ranking will be for the men. Starting first will be Waldemar Bruderer and Mathieu Liese. Then there will be Stefan Randig and Piotr Kubiak. And after that, David Spreitz, Elings and Mateusz Malina. The stakes are high to see which one will be the current leader in the competition. We had a small change from yesterday's starting list as Martin Ruman from Slovakia dropped out of the competition and therefore giving a chance to Waldemar Bruderer, who ranked 7th yesterday in yesterday's qualifying, to make it to the final, and he has another chance to prove what he can do in this competition. Again, only the 6 top athletes from yesterday's 28 starts in both men and women could make it to the finals. 6 ladies and 6 men made it to the finals, and we've just seen who are the top athletes in the ladies. Now we're about to see which one of the men will take the lead and make it on the podium. Our judges gearing up for the last part of the finals. A cheerful smile from the judge. And getting ready for their dives are Waldemar Bruderer from Switzerland and Mathieu Liese from Poland. Our judges on line A are also sending their hellos. Only a few minutes until the top time is announced and for our athletes to start their performances. On our screen is Mathieu Liese. He has been freediving for 4 years now. He was also present in last week's competition, last week's pool competition in Wrocław. And he is back now challenging himself in a different environment at the Deepspot challenge. Waldemar Bruderer, who ranked 7th in the finals, but made it in the qualifying, but made it to the finals because of a change in the start list. He's also on the screen. He scored 86.6 points yesterday, while Mathieu Liese, who is also competing along him now, scored 88.6 points. Both did dives to 3 minutes 33 and 3 minutes 43 seconds respectively. We'll be able to see how they compare to yesterday's performance in today's finals. Only a few seconds, 30 seconds to be exact, until the athletes submerge themselves underwater. They're taking the last final breaths before the start.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top time.
Waldemar Bruderer, who is a Mszczonów instructor and with many years of competition experience, just started. As mentioned before, yesterday he achieved a dive time of 3 minutes and 33 seconds, scoring him 86.6 points. He managed to make it to the finals as one of the athletes who ranked in the top 6 dropped out. Waldemar, being the next one who ranked 7th yesterday, was selected to make it to the finals. And we are happy for the Swiss athlete who is currently competing. If friends and family are watching, we do hope you're cheering for Waldemar. Almost at the bottom plate, 44 meters. Again, reminding our viewers who just tuned in to watch, the Deepspot challenge is different than any other depth competitions. All athletes in the Profi category will have to reach a depth of 44 meters. and then make it up to the 2-meter static zone within 3 minutes, and there hold their breath for as long as possible. And the winner will be the one who has the longest dive time. Different approach to the dive. Mattia Lise is already on his way up to the 2-meter mark. Here again, the speed of the dive or the discipline don't matter in this case. Each athlete have the free choice to do whatever it takes to make their dives as enjoyable as they can. Now checking the time, Mattia had to make sure to be up again to the 2-meter mark as early as possible, as only 20 seconds left for him to reach that. Again, this could result in a disqualification if he does not reach it within the 3 minutes allocated time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.
But well within time. However, we'd still need to get a perspective on the Swiss athlete, although I think being aware of the rules, he also made it to the zone within time. And yes, already past the 3-minute mark, going in for the 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's already more than what Valdemar was able to achieve in last night or yesterday's qualifying heats. We are waiting the judges' decisions on his performance. Mathieu breaks the surface as well at just a few seconds below 4 minutes or under 4 minutes. We hear cheers for the Swiss athlete. Congratulations on your white card. And for Mathieu as well, we hear cheers in the background. Congratulations. That could only mean a white card. We will get the final results and the total points scored by each of the athletes on the screen in just a moment. We can see on the screen the non-profi bronze medalist Sebastian Dimek celebrating his cheermate, and as we see on the screen, so far 85 points, 0.6 for Valdemar Bruderer, an improvement from yesterday, or rather similar score than yesterday for Mathieu Lise, 90 points, 0.4. In comparison to yesterday, it is already an improvement. So we hope that the athlete is satisfied with his performance. Amazing to watch both competitors and how the current ranking is. However, we still have 4 more athletes to go. Stefan Randig from Germany and Piotr Kubiak from Poland. And right after their performances will come David Spreiz-Ehlings and Mateusz Malina from Poland. Five minutes or so until the top time is announced for the next 2 athletes. Our safety team is taking a little break until the next start. It was a much, much longer day for them yesterday with more than 60 starts or 70 athletes competing. Today, however, it's much less than that and only 24 starts. as only the top 6 athletes from yesterday's qualifying heats made it to the finals. You are watching the top 6 athletes. And today, only the top 3 will be rewarded for their performances. But celebrating all athletes for their dive is everyone present on site at the Deepspot Challenge. 3 minutes till top time. Both athletes right in their relaxation zone. Each finding their way of preparing for the dive. This is one of the most important moments for any athlete preparing for a competition dive. Obviously, there's a lot of stress that is involved with that. However, adrenaline could be the enemy in such competitions. Athletes have to find ways to relax themselves and ensure they are prepared for the dive and to give their best performances. Two minutes until the top time. Stefan Randig scored 90.6 yesterday. Perhaps a strategic move to qualify for the finals. We'll be able to see if he is prepared to beat that in today's finals. Piotr Kubiak scored 96.2 points yesterday. Now it is the finals. Both athletes will want to push out of their comfort zone, beyond what is possible and what will secure them a spot at the podium, on the podium. Both athletes have extensive experience in competition, so handling the stress of the finals is something they are quite used to in their career. As they hear the countdown for the last seconds.
20 seconds.
Only 20 seconds until they have to submerge themselves underwater.
10 seconds.
They're using every time possible.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top time.
And good start for both athletes. Stefan Randig from Germany is using free immersion in on this dive, probably to ease and make the dive as comfortable as possible. Already using the negative buoyancy and free falling into 44 meters. Stefan enjoys both depth and static freediving disciplines, as we've also mentioned earlier, which is a definite or comes at handy for him at this competition that is combining both depth and static. He is an instructor living in Dahab and also an instructor trainer. He will also be given a no-fin workshop later during the week here at Deepspot. All participants are present on site for that already. And speaking of no-fins, Piotr Kubiak, last year's world champion in this discipline as well, just touches down at 44 meters and decides to go for a hang. at this depth, a different approach as we've seen from other athletes who choose to rather do slow dives up, go up again to the 2-meter mark. Piotr Kubiak is used to long breath holds underwater, and his body is quite adapted to the pressure at such depths. He has a swimming background, and that showed in his performance that secured him gold and the world champion title in last year's World Championship. He was present last year at the Deepspot challenge as well, and he's back again, pushing and improving his performance to perhaps secure gold this time. He's one of the few athletes who only within a few years managed to reach the top rankings, both on a national and an international level.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rushing to make it to the 2-meter mark. Perhaps it was too relaxed on that dive. We hope it was well within the allocated time. As you've seen, he rushed through those last meters, as each diver has to make it back to the static zone within 3 minutes. And from there on, hold their breath as long as possible. Stefan Randig did a dive of 3 minutes and 53 seconds on yesterday's qualifying heats. Will he be able to go over that and beyond that to secure a spot on the podium today? We'll be able to find out. As for Piotr Kubiak, he did 4 minutes and 21 seconds yesterday. And is going for more than that perhaps today as well. Now, already a new record for Stefan, an improvement from yesterday's performance. He already breaks the surface and gave a clear okay sign to the judges, and he's currently awaiting their decision. Now, 4 minutes or more than 4 minutes total dive time after a 44-meter deep dive is quite the impressive achievement. And it's a white card. Congratulations, Stefan. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. One of the top athletes present in today's competition. Still going for it is Piotr Kubiak, approaching the 5-minute mark, who just broke the surface, giving a clear okay sign to the judges, but still pushing for those recovery breaths. Now, hopefully he'll be able to secure that white card. And yes, indeed, congratulations, gratulacje, Piotr, on your performance. Well impressive, 5 minutes. That is what, or is now the first 5-minute dive of the day. Yesterday, the only person who went beyond the 5-minute mark is David Spreetz-Elings, who is coming up next. He did a dive of 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Will he be able to repeat that or go beyond that? We will be able to see what the results will be on today's dive. But so far, with 104 points, Piotr Kubiak is taking the lead, and in just second position, 93.6 points is Stefan Randig. However, Mateusz Malina and David Spreetz-Elings still have to do their dive. and are coming up next in just about 4 minutes time. Everyone is gathered here around the pool outside to watch the top performers of the day. We see the medics present on site, ready to react if need be. People are also watching outside in the reception area and the tunnel. These are the last two athletes of the competition, also the top two athletes of the competition that will define today's ranking and will define who stands on the podium. The stakes are high for both athletes. Mateusz Malina, one of the world's most renowned athletes and most decorated athletes, also the winner of last year's edition of the Deepspot Challenge and gold medalist. Will he be able to defend that title this year again? He's up against Swedish athlete David Sprets-Elings, who yesterday did a whopping 5 minutes and 22-second breath hold or dive time. This is what both athletes now what they have to go over is Piotr Kubiak's performance of 5 minutes and his 104 points. Curious to see what strategy both athletes will use. Will they just do a dive that secures them a spot on the podium, or one that pushes beyond their limits to see what they can possibly achieve in competition? 1 minute till top time. And even with such a long time still until top time, Mateusz Malina is already starting packing all the air in his lungs. David from Sweden as well. They both have impressive static breath hold times and can go well beyond what anyone can achieve. Are we going to watch some new records being broken in this competition? Ooh, and a wrong start for David Sprets. That is a surprise for the Swedish athlete, who packed a little over what his body could handle. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. You can see that he was going for gold. He was going to win, and he was going for that. But we see things could always change. He had a little surface blackout after packing too much air, restricting blood flow to the brain. What a bummer. What a bummer. He was the one with the top performance yesterday. Now it's up to Mateusz Malina to define the ranking, as David Sprets-Elings is disqualified from the competition or from the finals. Poof, quite a change of destiny. What a bummer. But still, it was an impressive performance yesterday. 5 minutes and 22 seconds. We'll be able to see whether Mateusz Malina what he will break or what he will set for a record on this dive. All eyes are on him. Everyone is excited to see what the results will be. Mateusz Malina is the top athlete in the entire world, ranking first, not just in the depth competitions, but also in the pool competitions. He is the current national record holder in all disciplines for Poland, and one of the 2 people in the freediving history who were able to secure a world record in both depth and pool disciplines. Now, if you are a freediver, you know how hard that is. Being the best in pool is already impressive, but being the best in both pool and depth is beyond impressive. Mateusz Malina is the diver who was able to achieve that. A well-grounded athlete. It's not just about the performance, but also the lifestyle. He has his own lifestyle with his experience. He was able to develop that in the previous years. And whew, okay, quite a scare also for this performance, as just a few seconds, but he made it well in time for the static zone. Now he just has to beat Piotr Kubiak before him to secure gold in this competition. But we will be able to see what strategy the Polish diver goes for today. He did a dive of 4 minutes and 41 seconds yesterday. Now Piotr Kubiak right before him did a dive of 5 minutes and a few seconds, and that is what secured him first in the ranking so far. Mateusz Malina could still beat him to that. And this is what we are about to find out. He has a strong breath hold. His competition best is 9 minutes and 35 seconds. First in Poland. He's also the deepest diver in Poland, world record holder in pool disciplines, and previous world record holder in the free immersion discipline. This dive should be well within what is possible for him to achieve. I'm not sure if he got that David got disqualified right before him. I'm not sure if he knows already what he has to go and beat, or the record he has to beat to be able to be this year's winner. He was last year's winner and gold medalist in the 5th edition of the Deepspot Challenge. Now already at the 5-minute zone, still pushing through those contractions. Come on, Mateusz. Just get the white card already with what you have achieved now. You can secure yourself a gold medal. But he's pushing for it. His record from last year was of 6 minutes. Will he want to break that? Go for a new record? Whoa, and having difficulty holding the breath, but made it right in time to give a clear okay sign to the judges. Everyone is at the edge of their seat. Everyone is watching Mateusz Malina do his performance. Everyone is waiting to see what the judges' decision will be for this impressive performance. Mateusz Malina from Poland. Will he be the gold medalist? And yes, all the pool is excited and cheering for that massive and impressive performance. White card for Mateusz Malina, Impressive performance, saved at the last minute. The cheerful celebrations from the athlete. Impressive performance, gold medal for the Deepspot Challenge 2026. Oof, what a change in ranking. David Spreitz-Elings was also going for that gold medal, but with a bump on the road, already with a blackout on the surface, was disqualified. But the ranking as it currently stands, Stefan Randig from Germany, bronze medalist. Silver medalist is Piotr Kubiak from Poland, and gold medalist and winner of the Deepspot Challenge 2026, again, Mateusz Malina. He was able to secure and keep that title for himself again, as he was last year's winner as well. Impressive performances. Well done to all athletes. $112 points for Mateusz Malina. Impressive performances. We'll be able to cheer with them and celebrate cheer for them and celebrate with them later in the closing ceremony and the medal ceremony. Mateusz Malina joining Franek Przeracki on the Polish live broadcast to give an interview for his impressive performance. Gratulacje to Mateusz Malina. If you want to hear, if you speak Polish and you want to hear his performance, then join the Polish live on the YouTube channel for Deepspot Challenge to hear his interview. It was an impressive performance from all the athletes to watch. A bummer for David Spreitz-Elings being disqualified from the performance. He did an impressive dive yesterday anyway, but Mateusz Malina proved again to be more impressive with that, with 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Great performances for all athletes. And Stefan Randig making it and securing bronze medal. Piotr Kubiak, silver medal. Mateusz Malina, gold medal. We'll be able to celebrate with them in the closing ceremony later. That will unfortunately not be broadcasted live. However, you can follow the results and the news on the Deepspot social media accounts, on Instagram, for instance, where the moments from each step of the competition will be published for you to get a glimpse of what is happening if you didn't have a chance to be present here in person. It was such an incredible 2 days and performance from many athletes, different countries. The stakes were high to see who performs the best. We had great performance in the non-profi category, both men and women, and in the Profi category as well. We will be able to all celebrate together later in the performance. Now it is the end of the competition for all judges, safeties and paramedics. Everyone is quite relieved from the team, as they had one of the hardest tasks is to pay attention to ensure that all athletes are well and that everything is running smoothly. Now that is not an easy task, not an easy task for just one dive, but they had to do it for multiple dives, multiple hours, all day, for 2 days. Now that is an impressive performance also from the safety team and from the judges and the paramedics, who delivered great help, delivered for the judges many white cards, red and yellow cards as well. But that is the part of the competition. Congratulations again to everyone who won the competition, who won the challenge with themselves, beating new records for themselves. I wish I could speak Polish so I can translate what Mateusz Malina is saying. However, that is not possible for me. You can tune in on the Polish live on the Deepspot challenge or Deepspot channel, YouTube channel, to be able to listen to what Mateusz Malina is currently saying. We'll be able to have again Mateusz Malina present with us on the English live for you to be able to listen to what he was just able to say. Mateusz Malina present with us. Welcome on the live. You are the gold medalist and the winner of the Deepspot challenge. After you've done that also last year and many times before, you are the most well awarded freediver in history. How was it for you to be present at the Deepspot challenge and for this dive?
This year it was especially exciting for me because I knew that David last year he was late he didn't make it in time to the zone, but I knew he's capable of doing very good result, and which he proved by doing. He's a static world champion, so he was the favorite actually of today. Yes. Because I'm not static specialist, and I'm currently not focused on the static, but luckily this discipline, it has some component of deep diving and some kind of slow dive, and that I think narrows the gap a bit. And my previous record on Deepspot challenge was 5:30, so after yesterday's result, I knew that we're gonna be very, very close, and I was actually excited for that challenge.
And you still were able to beat your own record now, or in the Deepspot challenge?
I had the alarm clock set for my record, 5:30, and I heard that alarm. I set some more, and then I surfed.
It was quite a strategic move for you. Did you get it that
no.
David was disqualified in the beginning? Did that affect your performance in somehow?
Unaware. I don't have any facial equipment, just nose clip. I have my eyes closed most of the time. And as I'm free falling, I want to know the position of the line. So sometimes I open my eyes, or I have one eye briefly open. I don't exactly remember. And I could see some shape going, and I forgot about dive eye. So I thought it's David. And then we turn. I turned, and then I was going up, and I had my eyes closed, and then I opened my eyes after 2 minutes to know how deep am I. And then I saw this shape again, and then I realized, okay, that is no way. It would be a big coincidence if we go head by head. So I thought it's a dive eye. So David, I didn't know where it is, but I never looked on the other rope on any previous edition. Also, I didn't look today. I just focused to do my best. And if I do my best, then if I win, I win. If I lose, no regrets. I couldn't do any more. I just did my best.
And that's the best strategy to have, to give your best. And you were rewarded with that, with a gold medal. And you are again secure on the title for...
Actually, I'm happy that I didn't know that he had any problems. Because in my head, we were both racing. So I had this adrenaline, and I was pushing myself. Maybe I wouldn't push myself that much if I knew I don't have to, because I knew Peter did 5:05 or something. So
so that's what you had to beat, and then you had to make sure that at least you could beat your own record and still get a white card. But still, with all of that strategy, not knowing that David was already disqualified, you were able to get first place and also gold medal for this challenge. Gratulacje.
Thank you,
congratulations. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you with us on the booth. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. We will celebrate with you also in the award ceremony later. But for now, what will be the next step for you? Is to have a big breakfast. Were you able to eat beforehand?
Yes, I have a prepared breakfast, and and I will eat it.
So enjoy your food, and congratulations again on your performance.
Maybe I will do a couple of dives now.
Okay, then hopefully I'll be able to join you on the water.
I dive just one times per year when is the Deepspot challenge.
Okay, when the Deepspot challenge. So impressive and amazing performance. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you again in the next year. Well, that will be the next question. Will you be back again next year?
most likely, because I think they have a fixed schedule. So
Okay.
February is usually empty month regarding competitions. So
Yeah.
I think like 99% I would be here.
So all the best for that, and we do hope that you'll be able to improve again on your personal record
Yeah.
in the next edition.
Yeah, I'm
and
thinking about these 6 minutes for past few years, but I mean, a lot of people not appreciate this discipline because it's very tricky. It's very tricky because our body prepares to breathe. You know, once you are down there, it's like 5.5 bar, and then as you go up and you stop beneath the surface, it's against human physiology, and your body prepares to breathe, and then you stop, and the contractions are like unlike any other contractions I experience. I don't experience such contractions maybe towards the end of the static, but they get nasty pretty much like 20-30 seconds after you come back from 3:30. You get these contractions like at the end of the static, and you get it for 2 minutes or as long as you are able to stay.
And that's why it's called the Deepspot Challenge, because it is challenging to do, but it takes a world champion to be able to stand against the challenge, and you did it really, really well. Impressive for everyone who is watching.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next year.
Kisses to my wife.
Yeah, thank you. That was Mateusz Malina, this year's gold medalist and clear winner of the Deepspot Challenge. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to watch. My name is Anas Shair, and doing the live commentary for the English version, my colleague Franek Przeracki was doing the Polish version. It was the end of a wonderful competition. The dates for the next year are already set. It will be the 3rd weekend of February, from the 18th until the 20th of February. So if you want to be part of the competition, make sure to sign up for it when the registration will open in just a few months. Sign up for or follow Deepspot on their social media to know when to sign up and not miss the challenge. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is the end of a wonderful competition. Dziękuję bardzo, and see you next year.
you.